about tensions either. All right, you're right.
So,
back to Jimmy.
So the word on the street is that Fauci still, even though he got a pardon, he might get prosecuted on the state level because the pardon was not for the federal level. South Carolina AG Wilson is coming for Anthony Fauci. Even Biden's pardon won't save him. So what's going on? Alan Wilson leading a coalition of, so he's the South Carolina attorney general or state's attorney, and he's leading an investigation of a bunch of attorney generals, state attorney generals, investigation into Dr. Fauci.
Yay.
Let's watch. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Hang on a second. I forgot to take out the
ad,
the Jeffers McGill ad. So let's just play it. Let's play it, and then we'll cut it out in post.
Editors, cut it.
Profile, cafe, and monogram brands.
Oh,
Visit jeffersmcgill.com to get started. You can have it all.
You can have it all. Great selection.
And always the best prices.
And the best prices.
Jeffers McGill.
Jeffers McGill. With reliances. That's right.
Alan Wilson says he is leading a coalition of state attorneys general in an investigation into Dr. Anthony Fauci's role in the pandemic response. Wilson is alleging that Dr. Fauci mismanaged the pandemic, made misleading statements, and suppressed scientific debate. Dr. Fauci has repeatedly denied any allegations of wrongdoing, calling them absolutely false, and preposterous.
And remember, whenever the accused claims that the charges against him are preposterous, that translates into, oh, shit, they found out. Because it looks like Tony Two Masks might wind up in the big yard after all. State laws are awaiting him, just like Elliot Ness busting Capone for tax evasion.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I'll believe it when I see it.
I think he looks pretty confident because, let's face it, we already know all his crimes. So, are you going to look into it, are you?
Well, I like how he says his and the news still won't tell you what his crimes were. But Fauci thinks this is ridiculous. You mean an investigation into you did? What are you going to do? Watch old Jimmy Dore clips? Read RFK's book with all his crimes delineated in it? The investigation's already been done, bro. Just arrest him. Use the fancy terrorist laws.
Yeah. Hold him with no trial or charges. I thought we had these terror laws for a reason. We can't capture a bioterrorist and do this? We killed an American citizen in another country, didn't we?
Yep.
With drones. We don't have drones for terrorists like this?
Here's one congressman who's a doctor giving it to him.
Believed an institutional should make it hard for people to live their lives.
So remember when Dr. Fauci wanted to make it hard for you to live your life? So you would be forced to get the... What, remember this?
So they'd feel pressured to get vaccinated. Could we run the audio clip on that, please?
And here's an audio clip of someone recording Fauci saying this thing.
You think can be done about it. I have to say that I don't see a big solution other than some sort of mandatory vaccination. I know federal officials don't like to use that term.
Once people feel empowered and protected legally, you are going to have schools, universities, and colleges are going to say, you want to come to this college, buddy? You're going to get vaccinated. Lady, you're going to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
Big corporations like Amazon and Facebook and all of those others are going to say, you want to work for us, you get vaccinated. And it's been proven that when you make it difficult for people in their lives, they lose their ideological bullshit and they get vaccinated.
Are all objections to vaccinations ideological bullshit, Dr. Fauci?
No, they're not, and that's not what I was referring to.
Well, in reference to making it hard for people to get education, traveling, working, I'd say it very much was in context. That's exactly what you meant when you said making it hard for people to live without getting a vaccination. You affected people's ability to work, travel, be educated, to actually flourish in American society, to self-determine, as we're all given God-given rights. Shame on you.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, shame doesn't work on him.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, buddy, cut it short. He don't care. Look at his face.
The guy's he's got more fans than scruples, okay? And he's losing fans right now like if he was a Kansas City Chief. By the way, is there a tip or a hotline that I can send the countless hours of footage of Fauci lying?
Yeah.
Because I've got them.
To save money on this investigation. It's been done for how many years now?
Yeah.
20?
No kidding, right?
Like, that's why I don't buy this. I'm like, okay, this guy's been a Joseph Mengele rampaging across America for 20 years. Nothing happened. So unless you got some undercover, like, white hat branch of CIA, it's going to do something. Nothing's going to happen.
And now that Fauci is not the head of the NIAIOIU, guess what he's saying now? Watch this.
Fauci says COVID-19 and influenza don't work well and calls for improved shots.
A startling bit of news.
You sent that over to me, and I was looking Babylon Bee, something like this. No, it's actually true. It's a new paper that he wrote with a couple of colleagues from the CDC in a magazine. I'm sure you have a subscription, Cell Host and Microbe magazine. But all joking aside, this is what he actually said. If we can do the next one. Against both COVID-19 and influenza have, quote, deficiencies, including that they elicit incomplete and short-lived protection against evolving virus variants that escape population immunity. Fauci, until recently, President Biden's chief medical advisor and top National Institute of Health official, wrote in a recent paper. But if you'll put this next one up, Dr. Paul, unfortunately, instead of saying that, that we really messed this one up, no, the paper is called Rethinking Next Generation for Coronaviruses, Influenza Viruses, and Other Respiratory Viruses. We messed up, but we're going to keep doing it.
That's true. They want to manufacture the enemy, then they can treat it, and there's evidence that that's exactly what they were doing. But when I read this, superficially, it could be interpreted, well, they don't work well, and he calls for improved shots. Well, maybe he has in his mind that we can convince the people that, well, yes, we messed up, but those they weren't the right thing. But we have the right thing now. Yeah. Get back in line. Yeah. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, the people sometimes are so complacent and they just follow and think the government can tell them, the best thing to do. But they're not going to line up.
No, only weak punk-ass Democrats will continue to do that. Only the last of the loyal blue, no matter who, morons will still do that, but no normal people.
So
I don't believe it.
So before Fauci believed in natural immunity and said if you got the flu, you didn't need a flu shot. Remember?
But she's had the flu for 14 days. Should she get a flu shot?
Well, no. If she got the flu for 14 days, she's as protected as anybody can be, because the best vaccination is to get infected yourself.
And so
if she really has the flu, she definitely doesn't need a flu. If she really has the flu,
she should not get it again.
No, she doesn't need it, because it's the most potent vaccination is getting infected yourself.
And then that all switched And now this is what he says.
And what about for folks who have had a cold, possibly a bad cold early in the season, and they think they've gotten the flu and now they have an immunity because they've had the flu, and so they don't need the flu?
Well, there's two components to the answer. One, they may not have gotten influenza. They may have gotten any of a number of the circulating upper respiratory viruses. Coronavirus, adenovirus, parainfluenza. They think it's flu and it's not. You will likely never know. Therefore, you should get the flu.
So now he has a totally different answer. He has a totally different answer now. Isn't that wild? It's a totally different answer. So I could do this all day. I don't have time, but I could do this all day. And the people who repeated every stupid thing he said, every lie he said during, they'll never feel stupid. They just memory hole it and they move on. They put on another mask and they move on.
And those people are never going to say, look at Fauci and his grift.
Never. They're never going to say that.
No, they'll say it to you, though.
But they'll say it about me. Jimmy
doesn't believe what he's saying. Jimmy actually secretly thinks Fauci's great.
That's what a grift would be. If I didn't believe what I was saying. I believe.
Is it true you bought a house with your earnings from your show? Grift.
Grift. Is it true that you worked really hard and built something?
I mean, your returns are quite modest for what you could have gotten if you were doing a grift. If you were doing a grift, you could be living high off the hog. And by hog, I mean Cenk Uyghur.
Okay, over to Steph.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Let's take a quick break.
Okay, quick break, and we'll be right back. 3, 2, 1. Jack in a Box, please leave Jeffers McGill ad in the clip. You're welcome, Jeffers McGill. Jack in a Box. Thank you. That's too funny. You do care about intention when you know you're being fooled. Maybe you just don't suspect you're being fooled. You're forgetting there's anything worse than government corruption, like, say, big tech. Totalitarianism. Hanover.
Can I play that commercial
equals
again?
Murder elf. Lori, thank you. Back to Jimmy.
Let me play that commercial again.
For appliances with Reliances.
Appliances with Reliances. Boy, they got a hook, don't they? Yeah, baby. Move over, Elton John. I'm bringing the lyrics. Appliances with Reliances. You know, when they wrote that, they're like, get the champagne. Get the champagne. Bill,
did you stay up all night, but it was worth it.
Did you hear what we came up with? Watch this. So, appliances with Reliances. We did it!
Doesn't really make sense, but it's all right. I mean, good for Jeffers appliance.
Everybody should go see Jeffers. All right,
Jeffers McWashers.
Back over to Seth.
Okay, so are you just doing that for the audience, or did you want that to go back?
No, you don't have to.
Okay.
No, I wanted that all cut out.
All right, I just wanted to make sure. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. One speech asked the UK Parliament to assist in migration of the settlers into then British-owned Palestine. The other was a recommendation to mandate the pasteurization of raw milk in as many parts. Okay. Thank you, Corn Pop. Nathaniel Mayer of Victor Rothschild sat as Labour Party peer in the House of Lords. He spoke there twice. Both speeches were conducted in 46 around the age of 35, a year after World War II ended. Corn Pop. Sorry, Corn Pop. This says, of the United Kingdom, as was practicable. Practicable? I'm not familiar with that. Corn Pop. Jimmy, how are you sleeping these days? I too quit weed and struggling with sleep after 6 months. I quit coffee too. Is there any hope? Robot Vinick.
Yeah, take magnesium, but you got to get the right kind. So Andrew Huberman recommends, also tried the CBD. We have the CBD oil. That helps a lot of people. I've taken that. I take magnesium, L-threonate. There's a couple different things. And Apinogen, which is, it's like concentrated chamomile. So, but look up a Dr. Not doctor, but I think he might have a PhD. But that Andrew Huberman podcast and put in how to get better sleep, he'll tell you.
Oh, great rec. Thank you, Jimmy. All right. Oh, hold on. Let's do that one and that one. Trump handing the government to Elon so he can start the big tech Fourth Reich? ? Correct spelling didn't get through. That's all right, Hannah, sir. Thank you so much. Okay. Not Goldilocks, Little Red Riding Hood, Hannah, sir. Thank you so much. Victor Rothschild, 3rd Baron Rothschild, lobbied the UK Parliament to write and enforce mandatory milk pasteurization laws in the United Kingdom. Corn Pop. Of the United Kingdom, okay, was practicable. One speech asked the UK Parliament to assist the migration of settlers into then British-owned...